credit if you want to talk about weather business across the world, and of course with best practices, because the Australian Meteorological Agency where they will join other global organizations, including the UN and the WMO yesterday for celebrate the World Meteorological Day. The agency also now a WMO certified institution, meaning they also give certificates for compliance, monitoring how we do we work them if they align with best practices. And with all of that yesterday, we celebrate, but a lot don't happen. So we credit 3 things so you forget na the dunya for able for celebrate, unable for use meteorological outfit. 1, you get for ensure so you get for get the meteorological infrastructure.
A day?
A day. So the Met Agency in a salon will go over 70 plus stations, 70 to 77 over plus stations there. I tell you about rainfall stations they will get, whether they call the rain gauge, whether
they're active or they're just
active, they're online, they record data every day. They record data every day, and say one of you working at the agency now for make sure say we they take measurements every day. Even as you don't the breeze they blow with the measure.
Okay.
The sun where they come out with the measure, the temperature where they come out with the measure. So with all of that, they will get 77 plus meteorological infrastructure. Inside they will get marine station, inside they will get agromet station. We get agromet station. Then inside they will also get other stations and for navigation at the airport. So we get infrastructure. Secondly, you can forget the meteorological expertise, the Sabi, the Master Sabi, because we institution are scientific institution. So the work that they do there. For instance, if you see how they get the data, if you can't inside the computer, you and a layman, always they see that a number and a symbol, and a mix up box up. But you get the expertise. So we get people in the agency. For instance, the Director General, Mr. Sine Kamara, and also the Deputy Director General, Mr. Parker. These are chartered meteorologists them from UK where they train. And we also get meteorological observers and forecasters. So we get the Sabi. Also the dissemination. Over the years, for like 5-6 years ago, I joined the Met Agency. We made this year, even yesterday, where the head of operations and the agency, the Deputy Director General and head of operations, Mr. Parker, on AYV TV, he able to explain to the public exactly some of the gains that we don't make. Usa we come out and Usa we dey now. Me joined the agency 6 years ago. But we credit today, the meteorological agency all around the world, we dey online non-stop, 24 hours. You type www.slmet.gov.sl because we don't get this BNTM assistant from the UN body when at the WMO. Now the Central Africa office, they don't help people just set up a web-based, platform where a website for the able for the share the meteorological agency in the data they will take. Even the airport where they've been a lunge, they go interest the public for no say where they want bilam. Meteorological agency give over 60 years data.
Okay.
So we get a lot for celebrate, but yet we get the infrastructure. And this year, because of the Canada way how the celebrations come, and waiting we don't win at the agency, particularly the fact that we don't go purely digital, we purely online. We website not even be hosted by a local system in any office, but it is online. So we get a lot for celebrate this year. And if you ask me about some of the things that we don't happen at the agency, now all that one day, then also along the line, in 2025 last year, His Excellency the President appoint, Alex Joseph Mami as the Deputy Director General on admin, now the agency as well. We mean say government don't they look now and say, okay, yes, meteorological agency with all you guys are doing, you need the support. Government also need for get one kind way they able for support you. So we don't get that additional, manpower in the agency because the 2017 Act and the 2022 Act and the HR manual and everything where na legal instrument the way established the agency makes provision for law get a Deputy Director General on operations and we also get a Deputy Director General on admin. And last year government appoint Mr. Alex Joseph Mami, but yet still we get Mr. Ibrahim Sinekama when the Director General of the Australian Meteorological Agency. So we get a lot for celebrate this year. But yesterday mark another celebrations of the World Meteorological Day for which the Australian Meteorological Agency now is signatory to that UN arrangement day. And remember, even the WSF how they create on the 23rd March, then at the peak of the dries. They say the dry season, say March by 23rd, the place kid warm. So they tell they when they form then years they go now during the dries. But also looking at the impact of all of that when they happen this year. As part of the work, we get every reason if I for celebrate every day. Because the work they do now Met agency now almost, a life-saving kind of effort they do. For the information they provide in the marine sector, then one the way they're gonna see how far you they see now see because they didn't see, so don't you get to get this BNTM or first term where they say both they collide along their lunge end there. I mean along then as far as both end and or maybe not the high seas, simply because people are not able to see. So the Met agency they provide information to local boat users how you far you dey see na see. Then they also they tell you how the water they rise. So they provide information for agromet. Members say the 6 months again we salon be they enjoy, they enjoy, where be they enjoy again, they happen again. It hardly for longer 6 months intensive rain again and 6 months intensive sun. Even this year in the rise, Freetown experience on this. But this year with dry season and outlook, when I will not the two main things that all they release at the agency every year. Show say
okay, Mr. Sekamara, in the area of you don't mention, so I get 77 plus meteorological stations them. In the area of updates on weather forecast, now one way we not see much from the agency, don't they update the people in the country?
Yeah, well, interestingly, when you say much of the agency, then they will be subjected to some debate. But what me know, and waiting as far as with data and the agency concerned, we me know. When particularly me and the communications person at the agency, I joined them 6 years ago. Before that, I've been working at the Anti-Corruption Commission. They speak for the ACC. Yeah. So before that time, when I joined at the agency, a lot of things that they were perhaps communication-wise not really be there in place. For instance, how do we take the daily weather forecast far and wide? For let every other Sierra Leone able tap in now. We make now the grand mark and the land breaking we'll go for officially launch that website there very soon. But for now, in the online, people are able for access it to them. Now for make sure say we don't count online on 24-hour basis. The waiting left now for popularizing. But secondly, internally as well, we introduced two engagement in the agency over the last 4, 5, 6 years. What would they call them? The popularization and the launch of either the dry season outlook and the rainy season outlook. With the dry season outlook, we don't partner with FCC, Freetown City Council. I believe say if the FCC they listen to me, then we'll attest to that. Over the last couple of years, yes, we don't partner. And even with rainy season outlook, where would they get support from the government of Sierra Leone, from the AVDP, and also other goodwill institutions there, and FSRP, where would they work with, and even the ROSUP, where we don't work with over the years. But we don't put measures in place for take this information down. So the first thing what they do, whenever we produce a seasonal forecast every year, whether they're dry, the first thing they engage the relevant stakeholders in. Because mark you, we in a Met agency, we principal work in all of what they do around meteorology, even with the World Meteorological Organization, they say early warning for all. How we able to create then through observations and through measurements and what they take, observe for a very long time, waiting the happen, and able to bring information where we will share. For make sure say people they take action, even Bobosho or Masibo or anything they happen. Now we are working on it. So early warning for us. So we your role now for raise then kind necessary information and they for make people able to take actions, in earnest. But in all of what they do, coming down to with celebrations this year, the agency really done the push and the information they done the vital. And again, the second aspect, we also they engage the media. For us, you don't know, I get a very strong background in media work, and because of that, I get a lot of friends there across the media. And because of the kind of a way how issues of weather and climate change don't become integral, it don't become central to the issues of climate change.
Okay.
And at the Met Agency, as far as the science concerned about climate change, now meteorological agency now get because now we get the meteorological infrastructure. Now we go able to tell you how the sun will come out yesterday. Now we go tell you how the sun come out today. Now we go tell you even after when the sun not come out the other day. Because even in disaster risk reduction, and that make if you go now the National Disaster Management Agency, the technical pillar day, now meteorological agency now they head down. Because now they feed the information for early warning as far as observation concerned for men and take action. So we work and go far and beyond. So we also bring the media on board because of their friendships, and they also people don't get interested to issues of weather. And mark you, some of the research we don't come over the years. Some years ago, we see the IPCC report can say Salone, now the most vulnerable country to climate change disasters across the world. If we're not the third, we don't come on at that level there now. We don't come up. But before that time, then even now we're still vulnerable. We see what more slide. We can see what Susan's Bay Fire can do. We can do what even the floodings them, whether localized or otherwise, they do across Freetown. We don't know so vulnerability high. We don't see how they deal with dirty, with drainage system. So because of all that one day, the issues of communicating weather and climate change business, it don't become so important to the public. So because of that, the agency don't plan the media at the heart of that. So every year at the launch of the seasonal outlook, we they get engagement with the media first. We give them the information, we tell them and position them.
Okay.
And also now we don't go with websites, we go with Facebook, and also again me WhatsApp. Oh, they take disseminate information. And also go regional updates and tells them. Oh, also can engage agri-extension officers, local council, farming groups about how we share information, and we don't partner with AAH, Namatrujong, and Moyamba over the last 2 years. But
okay, continue for the with me at the program. A name now success. Say Kamara in at the head of communication at the Sierra Leone Meteorological Agency. As today inside the program, they also for talk about the 2026 World Meteorological Day. The program now they show they come to you live from the Society for the Democracy 98.1 FM. Yourself can be part of the program by way you send a comment or text message to the number 077981981 or self you go on Already Democracy Facebook page. Well, inside the program, we issue back where we get to technical issue. The program may show the continue. The chairman for the Monuments and Relics Commission, Joseph Kaifala, say, as part of his commitment for preserve monument sites and a salon, make them set up the Civil War Museum na Robis Chiefdom Putloko District. Joseph Kaifala talked this since our meeting with development partner in school picking them. Also, I go up in the Salon Civil War Museum for mixed school picking and people them. When I witness the Civil War, go learn but waiting happened during the Civil War. Well, for more on this, make we join reporter Alaji Jalo.
Some time back inside 1991, the Revolutionary United Front (RUF) be attack one village na Kailahun district, where they called Bomaru village. Usai them pull property them and self-kill people when no know nothing but the war. Plenty people ki wonder wetin make rebel dem attack Bomaru village, and this according to the RUF rebel them think say na because of bad governance, youth unemployment and other thing them make the rebel war be happen. From 1991 to now, na 35 years so where plenty people ki reflects their mind. But wetin be happen to their loved ones them where they lost during the rebel war? With this, make the chairman for Monuments and Relics Commission, Joseph Kaifala, build the Civil War Museum na Robis Chiefdom, Putloko District, as well for member war victim them, and raise awareness to people them we not get understanding but the 11-year Civil War wey happen na Salon.
Today make 35 years since the attack of Bomaru, which starts the Sierra Leonean Civil War. Over the years, we don't look for space for tell this story properly. I create center when at the center for memory and reparation. Throughout my life since college, I don't think say we need for properly create museum in this country where we represent what happened. So begin and go to come for land, and we go together from time to time for commemorate the one that we lost at the war. That make decide say I need for take the one seat for build a proper museum in this country. We don't build Civil War Memorial up there, but finally we don't build with him. Me very satisfied with.
The voice where you just listened to. Now the chairman for Monuments and Relics Commission, Joseph Kaifala, be the talk about the reason we make him build the Civil War Museum and Robis Chiefdom, Putloko District. We in the talk, the governance team lead na United Nations Development Program, Kadi Juma Peter, talk about UNDP and commitment for promote peace and security na Salon.
For United Nations, this initiative reflects our commitment to peace building, inclusive governance, and strengthening national capacities for justice and accountability. We look forward to working closely with the Residual Court of Sierra Leone and the Center of Memory Reparations to advance truth-telling, reparations, and the preservation of memory for future generations. May this museum inspire continued healing and a lasting commitment to peace. We want to make sure say we get a better museum because we want story is even bigger. So we hope that we all commit ourselves to ensure that we can tell that story and reconcile.
Wherein they received the National Reconciliation Award, Anna Fuller talk about the importance of the Civil War Museum where it get to people and school picking them na the country.
Receiving the National Reconciliation Award is a deeply moving moment for me. That this award does not simply celebrate an individual achievement. So when it pains a lot, when people go incite other people today in a salon for say, let me vent. Because when you know how you come out, the important thing is that you know what's for repeat. When you learn from history, you do not repeat the mistake of the past. You learn from it. And so that's what we need to do as a people. That's the importance of this center, this museum. And I hope they will continue to tell the story to the one that will not experience the war.
and Afula end up for call on Salone people for work as one, for promote the country in peace and security, for make wetin be happen during the 11-year civil war not happen again. For the Society for Radio Democracy, me, na Alhaji Jallow, dey report.
The program na media show they come to you live from the Society for the Democracy 98.1 FM. Remember, say yourself when you listen and watch we live on Facebook, you go be part of the program. But why go send a comment or text message to the number 077981981, or if you go to Already Democracy Facebook page. And where they bring you this edition of the program, media show. My name is Kaifa to Conte. Inside the program, I still get with me Success Sierra Kamara, and at the head of communication at the Sierra Leone Meteorological Agency. As today in the house for talk about the 2026 World Meteorological Agency, when being March 23rd, when yesterday, outside the world, Salone joined the world for celebrate the World Meteorological Day. So, Mr. C, a lot talk about tell family about this World Meteorological Day and how important it be.
Well, the World Meteorological Day, as we all know, this year, takes in a time where the world become together, say, let we form a day we go mark the celebration of all world meteorological and hydrological. Na big words and then mean say all governments and other national institutions, the way they deal with weather business, whether they deal with water business, hydrological will mean even the National Water Resource Management Agency then fall under the level, and then it is strictly with water business. We get an aspect of the science of when the hydromet, meaning the collections and data that they will collect. But they set them aside, say, let us celebrate, waiting at the efforts and what they make for able for safeguard lives and properties. Would they provide information on air navigation, the weather? We don't deny, we don't get to read the way they say plane they reach na satisfied because of the weather, no they be able to calm down. When meteorology na for able for advice, waiting other countries that they do, thing they for celebrate. They also even on the other aspect of say all the efforts that would they make, how would they consolidate them? How would they work with yourself? How would they support yourself? We make, I tell you, say this year we particularly in a Salone at the national level, because at the global level they say this year they say the team say they say observing today and protecting tomorrow.
Okay.
Let we observe today so that we go able for protect tomorrow. They say they highlight the critical role where long-term weather and climate observation they from satellites and all other things them don't they help for create and also don't they help for provide accurate forecasts where they save lives and protect communities them from disaster then what I tell you about the National Disaster Management Agency, you know, and all other work the way that they do, and also for even say they say the 2026 really they focus and emphasize the daily collection of the climate for climate awareness. We're also the able for support agriculture and also strengthen disaster resilience. Now make the able for this year for so now actually observing today and protecting tomorrow.
Okay.
So what will they observe today? I tell you say when will they get the issue of the bigger flooding where will they unblock Freetown? After they tell me the whole from where we get the mudslide and other things that we don't happen. With the work already SL Met done they do with other relevant stakeholders and the government sector, with support from the Ministry of Environment and Climate Change, what we don't do over the years. Don't they bring information early to the public for when they will take action? For instance, every year they publish the seasonal forecast. But with all of this, we also don't generate them, they do them internationally, with the cascade to Africa, also we and locally. But now, as a way of celebrating all what we do today, even with seasonal forecast for 2026, now we don't go global. We now get an iCloud hosting of Google website, www.sma.gov.sl, where now they online, where they carry all information. And we also don't take another steps further. Now they give what they call CAP alert, when are the common alert protocols. This now alerts the way they give within time based on waiting at the observations, now the atmospheric condition, meaning the weather, what you they observe. Over the last couple of weeks, we don't see inside Freetown, we they see dusty air. We can't alert. If you go on www.smnt, you see the publications there, what we don't do over the last few days. So now we also don't do that. They're waiting again, don't they really happen to we get everything for celebrate this year. Now the fact say, now the agency also don't get the ability and on behalf of the country for also exchange data with other hydrological and meteorological organizations or other weather institutions across the world. Now they do data exchange and data transfer. Meaning with data they now all we stations whether they online, whether they're able for connect with Oscar because it's not systems inside the Met and the meteorological business. But when they're inside they tell you say any data we go there, they go Niger, they go the agreement, they go ACMAD, they go. So we don't exchange now even with the WMO. We don't make say we get a lot for celebrate to this, and then they give credibility to weather. So first there will be the say even now good thing on the aspect of the media. Now with what we don't do cap alerts and also with data exchange. Now they even then any sign of the world you go Google. You know so when they go Google they see weather there. That one they way don't they expose where they know what they talk about. Now they go with the system alone, waiting the weather say based on we city climate and other things that we'll go for the now they will tell you across Freetown website waiting with the city there as far as weather concerned. So we'll get a lot for celebrate. But again, even in we season outlook they launch every year, will they get parameters that will they look at? Will they look at rainfall? Will they look at whether there will be localized flooding? Will they look at what we call dry spell? It can be short, it can be long. Dry spell and a period within the rainy season where you know they come at all. They will also they take a further. They look at frequency of lightning and thunder, and also the frequency of what of strong winds. So they look at all of that in a day. We don't know. We don't know the ticket for Dona Falaba where people don't die. Even last year, I think 2023, 2024, there were stories of people. We also don't know the outbreak of anthrax. We also able for forecast for tell you say whether this year the rainy season where they come, whether we go forget the outbreak of disease among pests and animals. So don't they anthrax don't bust now. Na Podloko. SMA talker in 2022. There was the outbreak of anthrax, where for the first time they passed curfew. But goat and sheep say, sheep not for Komobo can free talk. We not say coffee not for Motaman. But for the first time they give goat and sheep curfew. They say, you know for Komobo, Kailan can't kenima. We don't see another country. In 2023, 2024, we agree on the Liberian border as well. The outbreak of diseases among animals. So the agency, every year in we seasonal outlook, we able for forecasting in a day. We able for advise government. The disease surveillance unit of agriculture. Waiting there for do. We also they go to further even the Ministry of Health, the outbreak of mosquitoes, because we are talking about dry spell and short spell in the seasonal outlook. They clearly tell you say in the rainy season, if you get a long dry spell, for instance, if you can today, it takes 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 days to know the camp. That water we don't carry, they set to Nagota. What did they happen? It serve as breeding space for mosquito there. We also can tell Ministry of Health say we na begin plan now. Then local areas, you know, the zonal area, and coastal areas, we na give them also mosquito net. So we also they look at all other things. So how
this we can look at more how this team they relate to the everyday activity of Sierra Leoneans when observe today and protect tomorrow.
Well, it relates to the way even in the simplest of terms, we daily weather forecast all the Guinea the agency. Each succeeding day, when the daily weather forecast where the SLMet they produce every day, what would they send? And it clearly they say, would they observe today? For instance, the regime, 98, a lot of people that when they listen to me, we don't work here. Now a witness, when we come, Sky 106, when we joined the agency in 2020, Sky 106.6, Capital Radio, Radio Democracy, Radio Kono, we get the Radio 1J, and Modka in Moyamba, other radio stations that will be they follow and share and help the agency, share with daily weather forecast, observe say, with daily forecast systems, they be too loaded with jargons, numbers, figures, and many other things that way actually they make and the public not they understand. So the office writes to the UK Met office, and we write. So we can't help look at weather situations. We also work with the media. We simplify them. Now every day we deal with daily weather forecast so they give in this country, where it's not only accurate, but also they give you say we don't observe today, and this kind of way they work. Every day, the daily weather forecast of the Met Agency, they come out at 5 o'clock. We observe today into tomorrow. They at 6 o'clock, they kick in, meaning at 6 o'clock, the weather don't begin to click in. And we divide that into 3 parts. For instance, we divide that one, we say into night. What's in our daily weather forecast? You know, plenty of people, the way they listen to, when you go abroad, you know, they left you host without weather. Even in this part of the world, particularly when we're going to the rains and the dries as well. We also get people away there for take. So we divide that into 3 parts. We get the night. We say waiting at night. We say 6 p.m. today to 6 a.m. 9 hour night. We say waiting at morning. We say we morning day today from 12 p.m. I mean from 6 a.m. to 12 p.m. 9 hour night. Then we say we afternoon now from 12 p.m. to 6 p.m. Yesterday we talk about Freetown, and today now what we now? It don't pass 12 not to flow. We did 12:35. What we talk about the weather na Freetown. Yesterday we start at when the weather start at 6 o'clock. We say Freetown West and Urban. We say yesterday. Between 6 p.m. and 6 a.m. we say mostly cloudy with no chance of rain, fog at all in the city. Then we say the temperature mild. We say strong wind from the northwest. We say the wind they come out. Then we talk say today when at 12 o'clock now we are now in the morning, 6 a.m. to 12 p.m. No, we are now in the afternoon because now 12 p.m. I don't pass 12. But we say waiting at the weather. We say partly cloudy, no chance of rain, haze, very hot, strong wind from the northwest. If you're gonna do right now. Then get one that we know about weather business, and we don't explain through public education right now the agency for years. Go show say what we put in the work. So we get the meteorological infrastructure. We will get a lot for celebrate. We need for invest in a more, yes. We need for invest in the agency more, because even the feed salon program, I don't always on the discuss and I don't argue. No feed salon program or agriculture go able really for be able to thrive without the support of the meteorological component. Because advices on weather and climate change are the meteorological agency and the provider, and they do it with the aid of machines. Last year, since 2022, 2023, 2024, we don't work with the Action Controller Farm when I before when ACF first and now AAH. Kudos to them, to the NGO management, and all the support government for help the agency. We don't set up an agromet weather stations na Moyamba and Matrujong. We also now they provide credible daily weather forecast and agromet information as well for local farmers in that area where ACF and AAH work with in that end. So we need improvement, yes. We don't still get weather station in Falaba. We don't still get, so even as we celebrate the World Meteorological Day of 2026, the agency get in your personal things that we still the hope. Goodwill institutions, including global organizations where they support weather business across the country and across the globe, and even government-wise, places like Pujao, we still yet forget a weather station at Pujao. My brother, where they in government, one time they discussed that while we forum, the chief minister, and also they use this opportunity for bringing attention that Pujao not get, when they produce weather information, but in places like Falaba, in places like Moyamba, in places like Moyamba, we don't get in Kagine. But local and others will provide, but we still need for expand the weather infrastructure. We even want to get the opportunity for make government give space, now put one weather station right inside state house, so that it go able for the give accurate weather information from the house and the seat of government. We get one at our hill now, we forecast in house, but we want to expand more. Even vehicle-wise, most of the meteorological infrastructure, they are situated far wide into the country. For instance, we get one as far as, Buabu, Yenkenema.
Okay, continue for the explain the program. In name na success here, Kamara in at the head of communication at the Sahel Meteorological Agency. As today, they also for talk about the 2026 World Meteorological Day, where na March 23rd. Yesterday, the Salome joined other countries and the world for celebrate this day. The program na media show it comes to life from the Society for Radio Democracy 98.1 FM. Yourself can be part of the program by way to send a comment or text message to the number 077981981 or self you go on our Radio Democracy Facebook page. Inside the program, we look at another issue. The Director General of the Salon Agricultural Research Institute, Dr. Abdul Conte, say this new seed technology they use now for plants cassava, corn, and other seed them go help improve agriculture and local production. Dr. Abdul Conte talked this inside one annual review planning meeting where the International Institute of Tropical Agriculture, all with FRSP, SLARI, and other partners for talk about the International Institute of Tropical Agriculture technical assistance to the feed salon strategy, when they talk about how technology they improve palm plant business. For more on this, make we join the reporter Mary Kamara Bangua.
Some time back, inside 2023, President Julius Maada Bio will launch the Feed Salon program, where he aim na for make the country get stable food supply and safe, help farmer them for improve by the agricultural productivity. 3 years down the line now, plenty agriculture agronomists and development partner them don dey work tranga one for support the Feed Salon program. With this make the International Institute of Tropical Agriculture don go hold an annual review plan meeting with the Salon Agricultural Research Institute, the Food System Resilience Program, and other partner them. But waiting at the reason for this engagement, the Director General na the Sierra Leone Agricultural Research Institute, Dr. Abdul Conte, explain more.
Well, what we are doing here today is a review of work that are done in a project that is aimed at supporting the Feed Salon, coordinated by IITA in Nigeria and implemented by SLARI in Sierra Leone. So in essence, a joint implementation between SLARI and IITA in Nigeria, with funds from the Food Systems Resilience Program. A good number of SLARI staff have been engaged in active research. Not only that, I also mentioned that it's not just participating in the research itself, it's the backstopping that has come from IITA, because all the components in the project. Each component that is being implemented here has a counterpart, scientist, specialist, IIT in Nigeria. So the implementation going on together with backstopping, in other words, monitoring, mentoring.
The Vice Chairman at the Salone Agricultural Research Institute, Dr. Alfred Dixon, said this project gets 5 components.
This project has 5 components. First component being food safety, specifically mitigating the effect of aflatoxin in key value chains of staple mainstay crop cereal. Component 2 is basically seed sector development, especially cassava and soybean. Component 3, expansion of utilization soybean in Sierra Leone for income, nutrition, and improved livelihood, food and nutrition needs of its population through the food consumption and nutrition survey that is eminent in Sierra Leone. And the last component is capacity development for youth and women, empowerment for increasing productivity and production in Sierra Leone.
Way in the talk, the director at the International Institute of Tropical Agriculture, West Africa, Michael Abitan, says Salone a priority for the IIT inside West Africa because government don't make agriculture in priority.
So Sierra Leone is a priority for IIT within West Africa because we know that the government has really made agriculture a priority, and SLARI is developing the strength of the national program. So we're very happy to be working together, and we think that Sierra Leone is a country where we continue to make a significant impact. So we're supporting work. Today we're talking about something called Food System Resilience Project, which is funded by the World Bank. We're working together with SLARI on introducing new varieties of crops, for example cassava, on developing the seed system in those crops, and on really developing the commercial sector for seed production in Sierra Leone, and at the same time we're working on some aspects of pathology. We're developing soybean, and we're setting the foundation for improving the nutrition of people within Sierra Leone as well.
The Vice Chancellor and Principal at the Ernest Bai Koroma University, Professor JJ Momo, began this for say.
Feed alone and feeding the continent as a whole. And if you're talking about moving, transcending its traditional method into all of these technologies today that are around us, then we will require much more than just the research stations doing it. We require also the academic institutions and the universities being part of it, and that is where we come. And I'm so happy that we are represented here. Unfortunately, sometimes we'll begin to think that the University of Sierra Leone has nothing to do with agriculture. That will have been a grave mistake.
Professor JJ Momo say all university get role for play wey encompass agriculture business. For the Society for Radio Democracy, Mina Mary Kamara Bangura the report.
This show will come to you live from the Society for Radio Democracy 98.1 FM. Yourself can be part of the program by way of sending comments or text message to the number 077981981, or self you go on Radio Democracy Facebook page. Inside the program, I still get with me Success here Kamara, in at the head of communication at the Sierra Leone Meteorological Agency. As today they also for talk about the 2026 World Meteorological Day, and we don't start for talk about the World Meteorological Day. So now, Lord, with all the reforms them we say the agency don't do, our community then go better prepare for some of the updates them we una don dey give on the weather forecast.
Well, thank you so much. I think one thing where the public for really take note of in all we waiting we they do on we early warning that every year in the month of January where the dries they really don't begin they sit down. The agency they release the dry seasonal outlook or the dry seasonal forecast where they tell you how the dry season get for look at. In March, April, you know, say every year the rainy season we expect to forget the first drop of rainfall on the 1st of May each succeeding year. Now so we calendar be don't day. Now so it be now, no, because we don't in this country we don't see during the course of the rainy season people they don't tell we don't go do engagement the way they tell we say July rain can inside June, August rain can inside July, I think whether it was 2023 or 2024. But we see paradigm shift in the way how the weather. A lot of people they say now erratic weather, whether they say the weather pattern they don't decrease. But we get for also now release the second when the rainy season outlook where they come up in May each succeeding year. Whether one day one of the most important publications the world can do, where they tell you, because we know from history in Freetown how rainy season they do Freetown. Small rain go come, you go see dirty. They float outside. So even as they go now the rainy season and how the community people learn for know what if for do, many of know say we were there Freetown what they do with dirty. Now rainy season now they come so. The Met Agency will get the observation what they observe today for protect tomorrow. Because the rainy season not start yet to let people watch how they throw it in the city.
Okay.
Also, now I don't tell the public say we don't get with www.slmet.gov.sl. We're not 24 hours because now online now don't host a website.
But think about people within the rural community where not even they get access to internet facility, and then some of them people are so farmer and fisherman there. How they go able to get updates on the weather forecast way on can get every day, and that's now one safe way. Then people and they can complain we can affect them farming and self fishing activity then.
You know, interestingly, one of the things that we don't overrate over the time. Now the fact say there are people in so they call a village now what they call farmers, what they call them this, they know they get this. Then they use internet. So they pass me a you in a city.
But some area the internet.
So what we don't do, we don't work with local farmers across the country. In over 3-4 years of engagement on agreement, the popularization of the rainy season or the dry season outlook, where AVDP, FSRP, and others on the support we don't support local farmers. So meaning we can get 3 weeks of regional tour. We do farmer field school. We get staff there where they go to schools and where they go to where they go to farms them, where they go to farm hosts them, where they go to gardens them, where they go to bush them for talk to farmers them about the seasonal outlook. But in all of them, the simplest way now for rich people them, we don't create WhatsApp groups them. I get over 500 or more WhatsApp groups there where this are different local farmers them from Bo to Kenima to Kabala to Kailau to Kunkuna to Bumbuna. I tell you where I set up now this phone.
So how I can pass on
information? Well, then they will say voice notes. I can do voice notes there. For instance, every day, the agreement information we call a 1 week forecast. How the agriculture get for time, they pull up. We the post on the group then. If now daily weather forecast every day, how the weather they will post on the group. If somebody don't understand, and we don't engage most of them because you don't go engage all man. But in any local community where you go, you must able to see 1 or 2 more land small thing. Now, in your responsibility, we get it as volunteers, met volunteers, for teach the other local farmers they have to start understand the weather information. But even with marine engagement there, I will tell you something where you test. In 2022, 21, 22, 23, we will do one coastal induced project to UNDP. And the operations that the agency that time, the technical team decide say, how we were able to translate the early warning information about the marine weather forecast, because they give information when water rough, when water fine for go, when water not fine for go. We bring local knowledge. Okay. We begin to flag, color coding. So we get green flag, we get red flag, we get yellow flag. The Abomaster and the volunteers that we work with, where you can at the farming sites, then they Konakidi, they Yago, they Eliboya, they both, then other side the world they work on, you know, Hamilton, other side the Laka, Aberdeen Creek, Olosho. That's how they would work with. Apart from what we don't help them with local rain gauge, therefore able for know and measure how the water they drop so that they will be raised alert. In case we don't see anything of flooding, we make sure say we train them people and they cascade information. So we do color coding. We know say if you can't meet white, they tell you say the water is set to for go fishing. But if you can't meet red, they tell you say the water is bad. So when you ask the questions about how we don't localize the meteorological information, for the local man will not be A and B understand. Now so we also don't do. But the local farmers when they do agriculture, we don't put in a WhatsApp group and engagement there. Things that they happen. Sadly also, you know, as we also they go through these programs, we also want for remember a colleague where we lost, you know, yesterday. You know, sadly when I will celebrate World Meteorological Day, we will get a volunteer will be done work with the agromet support systems now. Matru Jong, where they cover Matru and both winner and Williams winner, a colleague na the agency, a pass away yesterday na Matru, where a lot of local farmers in another area don't they reach out with condolences to the agency as well. May he so rest in peace. But that is show how the agency don't expand. Because now a few things as well I can add. For any side meteorological agency get stationed at this country, we get more Monday. Because we also don't they lost property there over the years. when I challenges the done to the agency. For
Okay.
every agro station, to every marine station, to every other synoptic weather station, where would the plant, where they measure just weather no more. If you born, so tell one they cost past $20 to $25 to $30,000. Just one. Few years ago, we get marine station, where position na laka. They pull them. When we go, we ask, they say, you know, they say the devil in that area. They know that they give flimsy excuse. They don't like this, that. But we get we own understanding of Dandy. Couple of years ago, as far as na Musaya, Bien Kabbalah, we agro-met weather station. Somebody left the born a local farm. Same don't happen to we similarly. Now also na as far as Kabbalah. So local people, and when that make also with celebrating the World Meteorological Day and all of what they happen, it also nice for talk about some of the challenges that we also don't get over the years. So we don't get communities that sometimes, whether by accident or willful act or otherwise, that they destroy with meteorological infrastructures. But for every side, because for able to deal with some of their situations, and they will build a meteorological stations, there is also a meteorological observer or forecaster. Now places like Kabbalah, now places like Bones, now places like Lungewo Genaya, government WAF, as far as Kenema, but we get all inside in the, you know, for make sure so we bring the information in real time. But we really don't do them. And myself with me, come one of the agency with the support of the operations and management of the agency, we really don't try from position the meteorological agency in the heart of farming. Because one thing very important, our agriculture in this part of the world is rain fed.
Okay.
Now
So-
then we take water with crops. So any institution will get the ability and the science and the sabi for advice on rain, how the pattern they can, whether the rain they start quick this year, who say the end for able for help agriculture for be at the heart of government business.
Okay, so Salon don't join other countries than the world for celebrate the World Meteorological Day. When I yesterday, as you rightly say, the celebration still they continue. How the public able for participate in the different events the way they organize for celebrate this day?
Well, in each succeeding year, over the years, one of the ways that how we really don't deal with the celebrations of the World Meteorological Day, we don't deal with nature clubs. And that's the agency in management. Now they really look into that, how we expand the activities of nature club. Mark you, they say capture them young. When me and you they come up before this time, I think we'll be do weather chat. Not so. It is sunny, you know, it is windy, the weather and all that thing, they don't they lost. First they were able to learn things about thermometers, you know, about waiting local rain gauge, they don't they lost. So over some years ago, we don't able for they in talks and establish nature clubs across Cruise and the Western area, and also that's a pattern at the region who don't engage the local, you know, children at that level for land issues of weather and climate change, because now the issue of climate change now in the face soon at the future. You know, in first they say the area, but now they say they can't wear the sandy blow, you know, within at the boiling pot. Now I make even in with dry season and outlook or launch inside January this year. Once we will talk across free on whether they validate what we do now be say. We talk say this year the dry season. We say again from the hot and humid. You place the hot in the cold, not to say being the sister.
Yeah.
You follow. So that they validate what they do. So in all of this, the public go able for the part of it. One thing we want the public for do now for begin to follow the meteorological information where the agency they produce. Because it is working. It is saving lives. And the way I would not do with meteorological agency information, particularly weather information and marine forecast information we send out, we don't make a user friendly. We divide that into three parts. We divide that into afternoon, morning, and night, so that you go plan how you left the host.
Okay.
So even when the season don't see, if you come on us, just follow the Meteorological Agency Facebook page. And also, you can come at the F18 Charlotte Street office for the part of we, or fair way for reach out to we able for admin our public WhatsApp group. But also we website for them one the way they able. I don't tell you say upline local farmers and where they don't engage in our WhatsApp groups, the way they get to information every day. But we will continue for push this. But the most important thing as the way people go celebrate in 2027. The Sierra Leone community go see a different celebration of World Meteorological Day, because sometimes they get for able for achieve one or two things there. Because government also they support the agency for show back what the agency is doing to government and the public. That for able for bring the milestones that we don't cover.
So
for
go get for the see more updates
no,
on
go for
weather
the see
forecast.
more, because we don't now don't equip the agency to extend. For instance, the Meteorological Agency infrastructure. I tell you, say the British established in 1827. It became known as the British Meteorological Services of West Africa. Government take in 2017 we expand that. But after the war, the meteorological infrastructure of Sierra Leone is totally spoiled. In the last 10 years, with the management of the agency, now they don't build the Met Agency. So we credit now. We got over 77 plus meteorological infrastructure. I tell you about agromet stations, I tell you about marine stations, I tell you about synoptic stations, I tell you about hydromet stations, when are the advanced forms of rain gauge them. We got over 60 rainfall stations in this country, where they take the daily rainfall each year. Anytime they want to do big development, for make roads, for do bridge, for do build, do big government infrastructure like the airport, the Met Agency, they give data. Because when they will tell you, say, 60 years ago, now this water be the fall. Now, each year, when they do the rainy season outlook, when a 30 years media, when they look at 30 years ago, what they happen at Salone. That data, they will not correct. And mark you, the credibility of the data now going forward also not the heighten. I don't tell you about the way how we don't build a website system, we now don't make say, with stations the way they call 77 plus. Except for data and network and maybe charge systems. But otherwise, we get stations that online where they directly connect to data banks that across the globe now within the meteorological and hydrological infrastructure on the globe where they do data exchange and data transfer. And then they watch with data them. So accuracy for especially city climate, for telling you about what they happen at Freetown from all sides of the world, we also don't come down here. So because we don't get so much for the showcase based on the infrastructure where we don't build over the years, we don't come to a point now, going forward by 2027, the agency will be in a position how we will heighten and strengthen the nature clubs and also for take them further. For see how also we will do a lot of public education. Because again, what will they do now Met? We're not a scientific institution. That's the very reason why they doing much in the media. But again, there are now also simpler and friendly social media ways and they way out they distribute meteorological information there. Especially when the rain they come. The agency also they look for resources. Now I make in all of these discussions why we're grateful to a platform like this, like 98.1, the AYV, the Afri Radio, the Sky 106, and all other media houses. And I also they take this opportunity for reach out to local media houses. The agency not get that readily available fund for give media houses and for EPWI and local print media for established weather information. But weather information are live. In other countries, they step out of your house if you not get weather information. We want for solicit and listen support. Even 98.1, we want for the see in the morning. If 98 they read what the morning, good morning program, today now the weather this courtesy of meteorological agency. We are bringing our discussions further.
So how soon will begin?
No, we do that as soon as possible. In fact, as I come out and the branch school manager, for now start them discussions there. And we also want to see other community radios across the country. Come forward to the meteorological agency. Let we discuss how we will bring the agency information. So one of the things that the public will do it for now, while we continue we work for provide weather information. Now for me they pay attention to the work we do. Few years ago, science reports and come say the Sierra Leonean as a country, they were with the situation we sit down at the world. They say we were vulnerable. They say Masibo, Kasarao, Bobo Show, or anything when an extreme weather event, they say they happen at this part of the world. And we don't see them with the landslide. We don't see them with the flooding. We don't see them with the Susan's Bay disaster. We don't see them with things information whether they come island like a Yeliboya. There are discussions that the water level don't be high. So these discussions, they tell you, say, meteorological information is very much important. Even at the NDMA, anytime we launch the seasonal forecast, we'll share with the media. First or second session, what would they get? Either with NDMA, because our then government set up for disaster response and recovery. Okay. Before May, this year, for the rainy season, the agency got for release the national seasonal forecast for 2026. And then they position the NDMA, the Freetown City Council, the ASLAF, for clean gutters them, for clear gutter ways them. Because one of the problems that they get in Freetown, now what they call localized flooding. Because the way how they deal with dirty, somebody they send dirty in a gutter anyhow. And the public for no say, anytime you release dirty, where it go down, what did they happen? They go block other person in water one way. Where water cannot they pass. But you may we don't build us. As the rainy season don't they come, you see wage them. Go they make sure so you cleaner now. Because when water can you don't forget road for pass. Over the years, we don't they see discussions about government for the expansion of Samba gutter. And me, one advocate who are always on the talk. I say, when government introduced the national cleaning exercise, now one of the best things that the way you do for Salone. And then they come out as a recommendation of waiting the meteorological agency able for position. We make and they always say we get a lot for celebrate. That this year before the rainy season they come, I want as an institution where they work for weather and on behalf of management for reach out to government say even though they learn the seasonal forecast, mark you the weather this year will say a hot, a humid. Okay. Now we don't get discussions there about how the rainy season get for talent. May we clean Freetown, may we clean the drainages them because that's the only way that you don't able to stop nature. But okay, you get
success here, Camara. We'll go fence him again for can talk more about the meteorological agency they work in the country. Plenty thank you, joining
Thank you so much. It's always a pleasure to be here.
In name now success here, Camara in at the head of communication at the Sierra Meteorological Agency. And today inside the program, we also for talk about the 2026 World Meteorological Day. When yesterday, Usai Salon been joined our country and at the world for celebrate this day. Well, now this program made a show for today, Tuesday, March 24, 2026. Go left you. Plenty thank you to my executive producer Michael Sambola and we producer Theodore Arena. Plenty thank you to Lucinda Williams for in technical support. Fatmata Samuel make una watch you live on our Facebook page. And we will present this edition of the program made a show. My name is Karifa to Conte.
Radio Democracy, the true voice of the people.
Many thanks to Kaifa